Days, kind of a moon day, madness day, not anything really to write home about, but my show on Friday had some distortion or some kind of cosmic storm or something happening, I have no idea. Was getting into a lot of interference. Hopefully you're not getting interference today. Could be though, I have no idea. There are ghosts in these machines, I guess. Overall, my weekend was very, very active. A lot of running around and a lot of meeting of new people. There was like this New Age festival, spontaneous thing that just happened. And then I went a couple places and met some interesting people. I ended up in a rundown mansion. The place is like completely run down or something. And then there's this other mansion that was like totally immaculate. So that was kind of a weird synchronicity, going from one place to another. But, you know, on Friday I attempted to read from one of my books, The Satanic Paradigm, which is very popular. It's been out since 2009. The significance of the book is in regards to the date 999, which is representative of satanic proportion, significance, aspects. I may go back into rereading that book again in its certain dogma or whatever you want to call it, considering that on my last show it was feedback oriented. And if anyone is getting feedback, just email me, or you can call me at 773-217-8344 and let me know. Because there's a lot of overlay on this circuit at AM 1710, and we're streaming global QUE4, and I think I'm even being, as I've mentioned before in other shows, hijacked on XM, which is a satellite system that goes global. So it's quite interesting how all that is working at once. Feedback on my show has been positive. Feel free to leave me that, or negative, or whatever you think it is. This is the Pentacle-Hours, which is a show of philosophy, occultism, whatever you want to call it, by any means, across the spectrum of all different realities and dimensions. So it encompasses the entirety of the human totality in the spectrum of existence. And that's how I move it around. A pentacle is a centrifugal aspect, and I was working with pentacles on Friday. We were doing some filming for my Star-Crossed Vampires project, and some of the actors were in the whole thing of it, even though everyone in it is actually into witchcraft and black magic and everything. They made this beautiful pentacle and did this ritual. It was kind of interesting. Today on this moon day, though, I'm going to read a little bit from Liber-Luciferi, by request of getting different ones. So they just want me to do the whole gambit. I've done the Satanic Paradigm a little bit, but I'm going to revisit that as it was a distorted show. And I had done, I believe, Black Magic is Might, and then I was reading from an erotica book that I had done as well. It's not done, but it's in the process of being done. I just start and pick up on different things all the time. You know, kind of moving all around in the whole spectrum. I can write a play, or I can write a screenplay for a film, or I can do a sitcom. You know, someone did on a blog or said or something that I'm some kind of master. Yeah, I create the entire thing. Master is whatever it is in that whole realm of the art of filmmaking or theater or whatever. I don't know if I'm a master, but yeah, I bring the whole party around. It's not just me portraying myself in something. I actually do it all. I write them typically in about a week. It's not an ego-driven thing. It's just something that I do. And I associate with people that are also fellow writers, obviously, being a member of the Writers Guild, or different people that are even closer to me in that aspect. But in Liber-Luciferi, when I wrote it, the actual name of the totality is the Book of Lucifer. And it was the third book that I had written in the whole thing that had started the process of deeming occult or satanic aspects of my reality. The Liber of Luciferi, Introduction. Of this book, Liber-Luciferi, 6 things can be said. 1, it follows on the wake of success. 2, its credo is truly satanic. 3, the utilitarian, in its satanic sniper scope, rhymes without reason and trends towards confusion. Reiteration often transforms the subtle practitioner from a slight dedication to a full-fledged, unassailable conviction. In a word, this Liber-Luciferi is a watershed of satanic writings, which must be gathered and utilized in grottos of satanic indulgence in order to garner the furtherance of the Age of Fire. And finally, and there were a series of things. These satanic writings reflect the tetralogy of Lucifer and are in accord with the tenets of the left-hand path. Now, in looking at this Age of Fire aspect, this was something that it was starting in 1966 by Anton Szandor LaVey. And I know a lot of new modern practitioners want to down him or say he's some kind of aesthetic, self-worshipping person or something. That's true, he was, but he was a fundamental aspect of the beginning of satanic teachings, or in our modern recorded record, the past 50 years or something. He was the one that brought up this term Age of Fire, borrowed from other different writers of philosophy, which is normal as we look at different philosophies are always built on something else. Even if we were to look at all of the different Akashic records that have gone before, everything has been some kind of reiteration. And you have to take all of that different aspect in consideration in looking at LaVey's work. Very similar to the aspect of the might is right doctrines that were borrowed from LaVey wholeheartedly and placed inside the Satanic Bible and so on and so on, which is perfectly fine, because in the totality of things, and I'm using that word a lot today, because I'm all-encompassing, I guess. Maybe not omnipresent, although maybe I am today. I have thousands of listeners, but the omnipresent thing is definitely kind of apparent as it is a holiday or something. More listeners than usual are checking in with me. But the aspect of this might is right being borrowed or placed in that doctrine, might is right itself was a borrowed doctrine. There's always something on each other. I'm not saying that my work in itself deviates from that, but I show certain things in all of my work as a broad-based left-hand path black magic practitioner. LaVey is an aspect of that. His doctrines are very, interesting to me, and all of those things are in their certain stead, as well as a series of 1,000-year previous of other black magic practitioners or different other individuals in the philosophic record. LaVey, it doesn't matter if you deviate from his doctrine or you deviate from some kind of thing that is being stated. I don't think he would really care, or any other philosopher with an open mind to the concept of what occult means, because you're taking yourself into a whole nother echelon of existence in order to elevate your consciousness and overcome your surroundings and become a super Aryan. So these things are all apparent in our reality. But borrowing is a part of it. In my work, however, I tend not to borrow. But I do use references to LaVey and things like that. I absolutely do. And I give credence where credence is due. And, Age of Fire is a direct reference from the Satanic Bible and the Satanic Rituals that are written by Anton LaVey, sold in the millions, and still highly popular to this day. Whereas a lot of these other writers, they seem to borrow wholeheartedly from these different doctrines, whether it's LaVey or Nietzsche or all these other different aspects, and they pretend it's all theirs. Well, that's all lies and deception. That's all misnomer and misguided reality. Because you have to know that if you are an educated person in the left-hand path, you are going to see through these things very quickly. In my work, I've delved or created my own aspect of reality, as I feel that mankind is inherently evil. That deviates from pretty much everything, is in my own established, unique reality on the human position in its causality. It's not just trying to say, okay, we have this thing where we're compassionate or something. No, I'm saying that mankind is inherently evil and that we should aspire towards being more evil. Evil has many tiers and definitions, and it can garner itself and guide itself and control itself on its own upper climb to the archetype, to your own elevated being, and that good is actually conditioned into you in a herd lie, a sheeple reality, a manufactured reality. The left-hand path in the Liber-Luciferi appears without apology. It appears in order to fill the void within satanic thought. It veers towards perfection. It shall sustain us, and it shall foresee a long and durable existence within the satanic arena. There is a hell's host of new left-hand path rituals within this book that shall consecrate our renewed satanic endeavor. Liber-Luciferi is articulate, and it shall make our race wiser and draws a satanic singularity ever nearer. We as Satanists through Liber-Luciferi shall attain a rejuvenating infusium, to reap the rewards and varieties of life that is of the here and now, and of things to come. And we shall overlord our enemies and build structures, monoliths to Astaroth, to be in harmonious discord with chaos we contrive to release. Liber-Luciferi is indispensable. It is a must for the ardent practitioner of satanic black magic. The power and the range of this work is without measure. Its potential is wrought in its sheer intermingled capacity to be very simplistic yet complex. The heartless, thoughtless, brutal Satanist may be well feared. Indeed, this satanic book is not creedless nor despised. It lifts the Satanist into the ranks of the death-defiant, into the austere personage of the satanic deistic. It is the love of Satan and nothing else. It rents terror vision into the minds of the sheeple masses. The fortitude of the satanic psychics influencing the integrity of Luciferian balance, dissuaded by exterior sapping sensory stimulus, which encircles this false reality, raises us up. Through the blessedness of Liber-Luciferi, we as black magic practitioners of Satan avail the martial call to action, a renewed loyalty unto him in the joys of darkness. A vivacious Fortean phalanx unto Lilith lies within. While the works selected suggest an elitist frequency, it should be noted that all that is contained herein were chosen for all tones and genres, all types of demonic expression. Not one has been omitted. This was done to further spark the interest of Satanism into a global occult society. The greatest evil for the greatest impact, expressed through Luciferian thought and grind. In essence, this collection of satanic works is the advance of hell's hosts of varying practitioners. From all fields of satanic beliefs, there is something here for everyone, from the moderns to the theistic. Not one camp has been neglected. However, it would be naive to think that one collection of interwoven black magic formulations and philosophies will be all things to all Satanists. I can tell you that Liber-Luciferi is only an attempt at inclusiveness, though infighting remains. I am a dissenter from the realm of mental normality. Further, I digress from what is considered a definable reality. These concepts are malign inventions by psychiatrist sheeple who manufacture madness. Domestication is death. Ask yourself, does your self-esteem bolster itself by making others feel inferior? Do you create a false self in order to barricade yourself from an ailing society or an ailing interspirit? With this said, one must ever attain the furtherance of satanic works. I have overemphasized this point, but it is a must in order to survive. And to survive in this climate of betrayers is of the utmost importance. It is not as much an escape mechanism, but a fact. Universalism among Satanists is a probable impossibility. Yet through this work I attempt to embed a satanic theory, a left-hand way to doing so. The power of Satan does not wane, it does not dwindle, it does not cry and ache for self-affirmation. It just is. As such, it is getting stronger. Its power is increasing exponentially. We draw the paranormal to us. We are the paranormal. We are the super Aryan that is born under a black sun. The powerful supernal flows in us and through us. We ever traffic with Astaroth. We are in league with Satan. Liber-Luciferi leads the way to satanic interconnectedness of modern and theistic Satanism. This unity of the diabolic, shown and exhibited herein, shall beckon forth a renewed Luciferian renaissance. Everyone is their own purveyor of deistic wisdom. The infernal penetrates and encircles all of our projections in the quest for satanic unity. Take my hand, pray and revel upon the left-hand path, understand the current, waste no time, cut off all unnecessary action. Hecate holds the keys to the flesh-hold, a sovereign decadence that gleams. Liber-Luciferi bridges and builds satanic continuity through the dimensional fjord, the dimension door we cross. Come now, enter the brutality contour, besotted by Beelzebub. I seek that you may join me. Surreal erotic images of the satanic bazaar, a montage of juxtaposed intuition, free-based alteration, disjointed, confined realization, dissolving into delusion and disillusion, broken further along the causeways of deceit. We awaken. I say, hail Satan. And I am reading from Liber-Luciferi today. Book of Lucifer. Quite profound, as it was my third work by request. This book is really ardently probably one of my most brutal satanic doctrines, next to black magic is might. This book, unleash the beast within, let yourself go, become the highest and strongest, crush your enemies, elevate your consciousness, embed your reality, conquer a universe kind of doctrine, very much so. Just as in the satanic singularity in the future, race will be defined not so much by color or whatever this racial issues are. It's more going to be the haves and the have-nots. Those that have merged with the satanic singularity and those that have not. Usually the latter, so on, being the superior and the lesser being the inferior. And these kind of things have happened throughout our historic record as we look at humanity's inhumanity to man, its destructive nature and so on, how it moves forward in the aspect of its bloodthirstiness. More so just on generalities, not so much on what race is more superior. It's in our nature that we do such things. And genocides usually ring along with that, although I don't espouse genocide. I think mankind is going to end up exterminating itself as an inevitability. And, as our weapons have gotten stronger, and you've heard me go on about the different personages and the types of the extremities of how we have grown in our weapons, the toys are a lot bigger. The destructive force is more potent. And it's destructive. And this is what man yearns to do. Man yearns to destroy itself. That's a part of its inherent evil. Maybe it will have to go through some kind of blood pang or something where it goes and, whole swaths of the population are wiped out or something. And, if any kind of doctrine survives, I'm sure it will be Liber-Luciferi. Probably to sit on onyx altars in an obsidian amount of space somewhere in the universe. Winter Lake at winterlake.com. I hope your day is doing well. Doing some reading from Liber-Luciferi today, my third book in the satanic record of my experience of writing over the past 4 years. Not been at it all that long. I've got an international reception. A couple emails came in from different people today already, sitting at home relaxing or something, listening to me, which is kind of interesting. A couple dreams that I'll get into a little later. I'm going to read a little more of this, and then I will get to your dreams. I do enjoy dream interpretation. It's very fun for me. A lot of people find it interesting because we can kind of look at it as a all learning experience from different people's reality. And even if you're making these dreams up and sending me stuff, that's fine too, because we can still look for symbols and whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, deception and truism, there is no truism, and you've heard me say that before. I don't really care in this waterless reality of space and time that could vanish before our eyes at any given second in our weird manufactured reality which we seek to escape. Evoke the Satan. Satan, I come before you. I renounce this former life, this false life of pain, regret, and slavery. I ask for your awakening. Unleash the beast. Unleash the beast within. Unleash the Satan. I am the ravening wolf. I am who am, one with darkness. I am unconstrained. I am the maimed. Kill or be killed. This is the law. I breathe the breath of new murder upon the winds. I hold nothing back. I usher forth the attack. Unleash the beast. Unleash the beast within. Unleash the Satan. I give my life to you. I am yours evermore. Show me the truth of who I really am. Assist me to face everything without fear, without hesitation. I open myself completely to you, the you in everything I do. I give myself over now and forever. In through this devour, I am the sonnet of the night gaunt. I sing the sound of the scythes. Reveal unto me what I must do. I am yours now as you are mine. Show me a sign through the rape and rapine. Show me everything that is of your mystery. Unleash the beast within me. So mote it be. Beautiful little sonnets are throughout this book, Liber-Luciferi, by me, Winter Lake. And I enjoy it. And looking back on it, again, as I said with the Satanic Paradigm, when I did that reading, although we had this bizarre alien interference or something, we may be getting that today, I don't know. I had not looked on this book until I wrote it. I did some editing on it a couple years ago. There's always editing it needed. We've errors in our writing is, we can only write and then go back and look at it. But I haven't really read through it. And then looking at it, I find it very charming. It's got a lot to offer. Satanic Serenity Prayer. I am the forge. I am the anvil. I am the sword. I am the clenched iron fist. I am the might which is right. I shall resist. Come away. Let us awaken together. Embrace the hate. Return to laceration, stillness. Conjure the devils. Evoke the beast within unreservedly. Feel the sharp diaspora and inner satanic power. Coursing through my veins, I recognize the eager teacher of defeat. I am one with the infame. I offer no concession. I shall intuit. Death clarifies me. Satan is war. Humanity is de-evolved into sheeple. I, Satanist, followed the profound, preordained way of inherent evil. This is my purpose, my creed, my mantra, which none shall supersede. I am the reason, I am the undertaking, I am the true being, a satanic consort. I am held in his thrall, I stalk the moors like a wolf. I am the procession, all things are in us as we are in him. I am the beast within, I am the Satan. These are very nice and very direct, and now I see why people really are fond of this book. When I write, it's just a lucid, reality, interconnected experience. Embrace my own super consciousness and just kind of let myself go. And I crank one of these out usually once a year. I swore off in 2012 I wouldn't write another book. Then I wrote one in 2013, and I'm now writing one in 2014. And it's just endless. I mean, the amounts of different theories that I like to embellish. The font has not run dry, I guess. The axis of the satanic super-Aryan. From the four corners of the self to the four quarters of the universe, the Satanist exerts his will. This intention is limitless in the conjuration of what has been deemed supernatural. He is the magus, hinging on the immortal. Opposition dissolves as he transfigures the whole of Gaia to his image. He is his own God, his own redeemer, his own slayer, his own amalgam of satanic ideal. He weaves the world to his own pursing disposition. Chameleon archetypes confide to empower the Satanists against the multitude of the profane. His is the discipline of the sacred pinnacle of Baphomet, a far-reaching insight, which turns it outward before turning it inward. The planetary invocations are his to covet and control. All of the world may be made to manifest in him. His is the name of God. His is the name of Satan. His is the true attribute of cosmic power which overlords mankind. There is no world harmony, only chaos in motion. The practitioner is the very fabric of things. The Satanist may disharmonize the universe to reflect within himself like a lightning bolt of magical venture and ruthlessness, if he so chooses. He is the order and the chaos ensconed. The Satanist should never remain silent in the face of overwhelming barbarity. On the contrary, he should embrace it, utilize it, shape it, refocus it, and make it a mantra of his necessity. There is no master above or below. The master is within. He holds the harbinger keys to the space planes of pure satanic consciousness. The time for measured and redacted thought is over. Luciferic inception grips us with the untold comprehensions of cause and creativity. The very ebb and flow of Chaos Sophia, Earth Aryan foundations. The modern Satanist is the Pythagorean mystic, the Agrippa, dedicated to the onslaught of Mephistophelian capacity. These trends of profound supra-satanic Aryan manifestation rolling over the sheeper's skull civilization is extraordinary. Satan relagare, Satan unites. Many sheeple will meet the rightly intended evil end to their existence of meaninglessness. The curative process of pestilence takes on new pervasive forms all of the time. The basis for this construct of death comes on in radical and manifold attritions, either self-inflicted or perpetuated. The overpopulated tumor growth of slobbering, sluggish, discreated, and inbred sheeple creatures are ever on the breed. The satanic super-Aryan is the stopgate to this adverse progression. The Satanist exists to keep the balance right. The Satanist exists to go beyond logic and peer into the cosmic varieties of black magic intervention which lies within. The Satanist does not claim to be the center of the universe. The Satanist is the universe. He who persuades and betrays himself to consumer materialism is lost. We have reached the epoch of oneness, all possibility, all satanic singularity. The former bygone ages have passed away. Their grasp has been unclenched. Their hold over us has been broken. The high authority of nature does not commit errors without intention. The convention of the machine mundi, the world machine, ever accords itself that Satan is truth, without falsehood, and is very real. Satan perpetuates, transmutates, and annihilates all things which are irrespective of itself. He is the cleansing penetration of perpetual fire. His is the strength and the power of the absolute, ever changing and ever calculating, ever evolving into a perfect state of Luciferian consciousness. Satan is a power accomplished. Satan influences an occult power derived. He is the acuity, the faculty of nature purified. Intermingled autogomisms have no place in him. His is the string of dimensional cunning, yet through the void he aspires us. His is the transformation from one being to the next, shifting in the virtues of polarity, gods and demons, terrestrial, extraterrestrial intelligences. All things occur in him. Satan is the soul, the processed essence of the dark stars. The elements of this neo-universe ever affirms us to his infused consummation, the becoming of a satanic super-Aryan. The stagnation, sterility, and gray force quagmire which currently sacrifices the strong for the weak within the modern sheeple culture will not proceed. These de-evolving hostilities run counterintuitive and anathema to man's real nature. A true visage of satanic accord pushes to force this culture to collapse in on itself. The satanic experience is the last vestige of Luciferian enlightenment left for man. It is the last escape route open to him before everything implodes in on itself. This is such a tired but very true statement. The antipathy of satanic order dispossesses this planet with auguries of liberating constellation. The signs have been allotted, precursors of cunning contrivance have been alighted and shown only to those that walk the left-hand path. This world of melting plastic and empty void, where once minds existed, is becoming a caricature of the failed human condition. In vain the sheeple constructs spend more, consume more, become more soulless, and pride themselves on their own stupidity. Ever more and more, the Satanist must always be on guard from the seductions of the sheeple land of the lotus eater, ever declining. The sheeple raise their glazed, eyeless gaze to a starry heaven which does not exist, waiting for a Christ or a Mohammed to descend to save them from the slime they have allowed themselves to become. Their malnourished bodies fall sickly severed from the satanic current of animation. The garble of their gibberish fails to converse with the leagues of Luciferi. The Satanist strikes with the sword of might. He is the flickering spark which ignites Loki's Ragnarok. His is the celestial tune of a mechanized Adramelech. The complications of the physical form do not hinder the satanic psyche. These corporeal aspects transform within the graven magical metal with vainglorious talisman force, which furthers the practitioner's vision, veering into the astral collusion of professed wisdom and unknown power. The artificial man expands and corrals together exponentially into an air of great annihilation. Assertions of the new man are highly exaggerated. There is no new man, only a man of inept character, shallow, base, servile, and predisposed, castrated eunuch. The new man is a whore haunting the highway, looking for purpose, eventually finding masochism fulfilled via death, to be useless derelict of non-existence. The Satanist is not blind to the twofold left-hand path to cosmic power. The left-hand path is a light that exists inside. Nothing shall dissuade this elder complexity which is innate. Responding with antiquity's connection, the heretics of the so-called modern man are not Aryan. They are the rabble, wandering the streets of rude language and our subtle, tactful, and efficient deterioration. In the signs of Satan we are uplifted. It is engraved on our souls, endowed with astral permutation, enforcing thus the power of Beelzebub's imprint, the signature of sigils. These are the arsenal of the Satanist's habitation. The Satanist is molded from the dust of the stars. He emanates the radiance of Lucifer himself, ever growing stronger, ever rising, ever codifying, ever creating, ever destroying. The Satanist seeks to sever man from the current cataclysmic course of self-mutilation, or at least pour the drink of wine and watch from the sidelines while they slit each other's throats. These works of satanic consciousness are the benchmarks of the cognitive essence of the satanic super-Aryan. The satanic super-Aryan transforms us completely, never to follow the common and tawdry succession of ordinary Christian Muslim slaves. These Satanist leads the march, always on his own left-hand path, professed and possessed with a black alchemical task to separate the pure from the impure, developing his skills, conjuring primordial dark matter. What nature has left imperfect, the Satanist shall perfect through black magic. Thus the satanic art shall strengthen all Luciferian bonds. The substance, the means, the proto-emblem, and the seal of satanic configuration are the main attainments which the perfected practitioner seeks. Satan is war, the black satanic source of pure will. Satan is the merge. Satan is the purge, the purity, the extremity, the fiery flow, the diabolic force, the discarded corpse, all things everywhere simultaneously. This is the mantra of the satanic super-Aryan. Live it, be it. And I am reading today from Liber-Luciferi, and I'm Winterlake at winterlake.com. Very powerful. And as I said, this book is reflective of Black Magic is Might, which was written in 2012. One of the most powerful doctrine I've ever had, and it's outsold everything Black Magic is Might has. But Liber-Luciferi is running a strong number 2 on this mantra. And it's odd how it's unfolding. Now, it may seem racist, but it's not. Racism plays no role in this book or any of my books. That is a tired argument. It is about being the highest and best you can be. The Aryan term is taken from ancient theosophical record as well as something that was probably Atlantean from the beginning of time. I use the word because it is beautiful. I don't use it as a bastardized doctrine that the National Socialists, a political genre, had utilized it for to create some kind of bipedal nonsense of racial inferiors. This is about achieving superconsciousness. And somebody again has written in, which always happens whenever I use the word Aryan, and I completely understand. They said, you're using this word Aryan, are you a Nazi? No, I have no time for political agendas. I do not take on any political roles. To me, the entirety of the whole world is an Illuminati mandate. So it's just something that is progressing. It has nothing to do with me. I never get into some kind of tired political argument because it doesn't achieve anything. My political argument is, where's the revolution? Let's stop the talk and let's go do something about it. But it would just become one big chaos sphere. And it would become one whole reality of destruction, which is inevitable for humanity anyway within the next 8 years. So it's not going to matter. The collective consciousness of inherent evil is pervasive in our society. We sell each other out. We're heretics. Our definition of love is destroyed. The whole thing is just ridiculous at this point. And it goes along with my doctrine very well as how we are progressing as a humanity leading itself into destruction, which has been inherent because mankind learns through suffering. And that's when real change happens. So only when the death pangs of suffering ignite, like something runs out, as I've said before, fossil fuels are depleted or we've wrecked our atmosphere and we're starting to die, will we realize as a humanity that, we shouldn't really go this direction. Maybe we should make some changes and try to do this instead of that. But by that time, it is already too late. We should have been making these changes a long time ago. And it's just the way it is. Humanity is drawn this way. It's something that it does to itself, and it's kind of sad. But it's so pervasive. Everything we do as humanity leads us into some kind of desolation. The whole aspect of our survival is based on ancient technology that is not even relevant anymore. And soon when it does run out, then we'll just free. The Ark was sold out at the stake. Had visions of power and deliverance for France, and they burned her alive for it. Whether she garnered her beliefs from some kind of mystical spirit or god or deity or something, they certainly made it satanic, didn't they? And they still torched her all the same for it, and she is quite my inspiration. Always has kind of a fascinating witch of power who really subdued a lot of her strength, and she had martial forces as well. So you have this combination very similar to what I've talked about with the Magus, who can have this ability to use, again using this term, martial forces as well as conjurations of both psychic and magical proportion to endeavor your life into a stronger space. Unfortunately for Joan, during that time period, I think that she had suffered clearly, obviously, from those idiots and some kind of archetypal rulership that dominated women and all this kind of thing that I've seen in the records throughout, just your ridiculous doctrines that say that man is some kind of elitist power. Our current trend now, women are definitely taking on more of an alpha role. A lot of these men have been termed feminized, or just can't get a job. They're just kind of losers. Well, at least what I'm seeing generally around here, and it's kind of pathetic. You have women taking on the more alpha role, and then they do tend, though, an alpha female does tend to get intimidated by an alpha male if they're rare occasion they actually encounter one. But it's very interesting that in Joan of Arc being burned at the stake, and she was clearly religious in her doctrine, really wanted the betterment of something for France and all of this, but they still burned her for it, and it's kind of sad. But I'm doing this comedy, this vampire comedy, and I've created a role where Joan of Arc is brought back, and it's kind of funny. As the story unfolds, she is resurrected as a spirit guide for Cleopatra. So you have Cleopatra of Egypt, the original one, alive as a vampire, and she conspires with Countess Bathory, her friend, to summon their friend Joan of Arc. So it's kind of an interesting display of different personalities all coming together with the different comedy aspect, clear as day within the story, so you don't get too caught up in some of the different perpetuating philosophies that are contrary to all the three of these different individuals. Cleopatra is very secretive. Not much is known about her, but she managed to, keep it together, at least for a while, against Rome, which was dominating the world at that time. And that's why we even have hieroglyphics. I think there was something due to stone or something that they had dug up during that time period. And that's why we're able to have hieroglyphics deciphered. I can't think of the name of it. I think it was called the Rosetta Stone, but it was Greek in origin. But anyway, that's a little bit about my vampire story. And we'll continue to read, and then I'll get to your dreams. I know you're blowing me up about some dream interpretation on this moon day. But let's read some quotes from Liber-Luciferi. Those that can will, those that cannot become rabid critics of those who can. Satanism is a faith stronger than death. Let us die as we pray. And let us pray, P-R-E-Y, as we die. Burn the bridges that lead back to pain. Burn the bridges that lead to negative people. Ensnare the unaware. Fate spares no one. Death rapes dignity. I am a Lilithian member of the Luciferian party. Sheeple are the bison for a new age of wage slaves. Let live and let live. Kill, kill, and let kill. You say that I killed you, I say, may you never rest until the day I die. Haunt me whilst I live. Control your surroundings. Do not allow your surroundings to control you. Those that yell the loudest always fall the hardest. Evil is a just social custom. To know the evil you feel is real, a mind over matter ascendancy. We have the painting, we ask ourselves, where is the painter? The creatures no longer fear a master who is deaf to their cries. I want to die in my sleep, like my grandfather not screaming in terror, or like the passengers in his car. St. Patrick, get the serpent out of my ventilation system. Be a wraith of all customs. Be a wrath for all seasons. The Satanist is the living sun wheel. The Satanist is the searchlight. The sheeple are death worshippers. Home is where the hate is. Embrace misanthropy. May I die in as much violence as I caused. Some come to an awakening after a terrible tragedy. I am already awake. Avoid the tragedies that others create. Avoid the tragedies that awaken others. Satan is the power to overcome. Satan is everything that is instinctual in man. Satan saves. Lucifer lives. Satan is a synchronized harmony. Evil makes me feel alive. Love, life-offering vampire ecstasy. True left-hand paths are never smooth. Poison can rescue and kill. Everyone is their own purveyor of deistic wisdom. In like sin. Very nice. So these different quotes from Liber-Luciferi, I mean, I like my quotations, and I've challenged this egression before. Someone said, oh, you put too many quotations in your book or something, and they're tired. I think quotations are interesting. I have a knack for writing them, and that's why I do them. And I've said that before, and I'll continue to say it. It may be an overwrought mantra on my part. But I think that the concise method to do so is a rarity, and it does reflect genius. Serenity curse. A satanic serenity curse. I am the harbinger of treachery. I am a harbinger of hell. I am the twisted road, a gnarled evil tree, to know the only God is me. Our dark passion shall rent the temple curtain in two. Our enemies shall lie strangled in the hollows of our betrayal. Many shall ask, to what avail? Our answer shall be simple yet concise. We are one with Satan. It is our mission to lay waste the Christian church of slaves and all false doctrines that deprive us of our satanic liberty. Temples shall be laid waste. In the sign of Satan we aspire. We shall whisper in cold clutches of a curse, die in me as I have died in you. Our enemy be nothing but a stillborn memory, so mote it be. So I guess I'm casting spells today from the book. Kind of fun. There's a lot here, and it's involved. And Liber-Luciferi really doesn't hold back any punches. Black Magic is Might didn't hold back any punches, but this one is the third doctrine I'd written. Is really, I mean, as I review it now, years later, and I haven't looked at it in years since I wrote it. It's very potent, very to the point, and its rituals are really intense too. A lot of these things. There's even one here about Cthulhu centrality and dealing with H.P. Lovecraft, which is interesting. I may read this, but it could be a little bit too much for live radio. So I don't know. I mean, there is a lot here. And I urge you to pick it up or get it or bootleg it or whatever you need to do to get yourself a copy of Liber-Luciferi. I'm not really into self-promotion all that much, although some of my things are. But as I am on Pentacle-Hours from 5 to 7 live every day, I'm Winterlake at winterlake.com. I have a tendency to plug myself and my work. And people actually borrow wholeheartedly from my work. Some claim it as their own and some of this other nonsense. There's been a couple people that wrote some books, and I found passages from my own books in them, and I'm like, come on, guys, just keep it real. You don't need to borrow from me, just kind of reword it or something. But when I see it word for word in their books, I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, you're all into it, your little armies of one or whatever. Just keep it real. As I said earlier in our conversation, I was talking about how I give credence to LaVey or other writers in my work, and I openly state that. I'm not just out borrowing wholeheartedly and saying that I am the one intuitive that has garnered all of this knowledge. And those are more, when I reference even Anton LaVey, I'm talking about different issues, like as an aspect of where I had gotten concepts or different things that had developed within my own psyche. I did not borrow any of his work or put it in my doctrine. You're not going to have me putting whole passages of this Satanic Bible in any of my work. That's just rude and stupid. However, I found it in my genre that people are taking different passages from my books and maybe possibly putting in theirs. But that's just dumb. I mean, you don't need to do that. We're all, I think, can develop our own skills as opposed to trying to just blatantly copyright. But it's happening more and more. I mean, that's why musicians can't make a buck. Everything is being file shared. Everything is being, pirated. It's just constant. And that's affecting the economy that used to exist. I think if the incentive was replaced in these search engines or file sharing devices, the mechanism itself was removed, although it's not going to happen, I think there might be a chance for music to progress where they could make money again. But, people then come down on me in that aspect. They're like, it's just greed or something. No, I think it's about having, the ability to do it and having an incentive there, or you're just not going to be able to do it without the funds to do so. So it won't happen. If you take the incentive out of music, which is already have, then you're not going to get more music. And eventually, sooner or later, it's just going to it's going to be very trickle, very little. Wreckage. She strains against the edges of Holocaust, my desire above all others. She calls to me in harbingers, the avatars of rigors. Vampiric in forgotten storm, her light dims, yet her eyes glow crimson in the marble dusk of memory, for another time and another yearning that will not die within her. Telepathic she remains, unsevered from the decline that slowly creeps to usurp a final death that never arrives, to cut her umbilical cord by teeth and subtle razors, our blood entwines. In darkness. In darkness we came, in darkness we went. In darkness we perceived, in darkness we wept. In darkness we betrayed, in darkness we evade. In darkness we collude, in darkness we elude. In darkness we swore, in darkness we whore. In darkness we forge, in darkness we score. In darkness we make, in darkness we take. In darkness we align, in darkness we shine. In darkness we manifest, in darkness we jest. In darkness we avail, in darkness we hail. In darkness we thrive, in darkness we arrive. In darkness we will, in darkness we kill. And I am fond of my poetry too. And there is some aspects of that typically in the back of all of my different diatribes and in the back of Liber-Luciferi, which I'm reading from today by request. People are really enjoying it. Some of the feedback's been good. I do, as I tried Friday to read from the Paradigm, I may revisit that again. That show had some kind of feedback on it, which was disappointing, but not uncommon when you're doing live radio because it's live and of the now. So you're going to get those kind of illusory events or cosmic storms or radio outages. Let's look at one of these dreams. Moving on from Liber-Luciferi for right now. Someone sent me in a dream, which is kind of interesting, and I was taking notes while I was reading because I have that ability. I can multitask. And in looking at it, this person felt suppressed by some kind of overlord in weird reality. There was this stone wall or something, and it's a dude, and he climbed the wall, and then he ran out to the beach, and then the beach turned into some kind of disc or something, and then he went under the water, and the water pulled him out, and he couldn't pull himself back in. He felt himself drowning, and then when he went under the water, he discovered some kind of underwater reality. And in the reality, there was this woman or something, girl of his dreams, and the girl of his dreams started to try to kill him under the water. So clearly, as a dream interpreter, you could almost say, yeah, this is pretty cut and dry. Walls in dreams, typically they represent barriers to yourself or new manifestation. And then you have transformations as he went from one environment to another, this sandy beach and this water thing. There's, with water, it's so weird because water, in some of the way I view it, is very destructive. It's kind of like when your teeth fall out. I'm still on the fence with that. A lot of people have dreams where your teeth fall out and they say it's good luck. True, bad things that happen in dreams are good, and I guess good things that happen in dreams are bad. And everything essentially is a aspect of your own personage within a dream. So you could be reflective even of this woman under the water pulling you in, could be the girl of your dreams, or an aspect of yourself that is destroying yourself. So with the water, you have to take it with a grain of salt that it could actually be a negative. You don't want to go and cross into that threshold. You've already gone over one wall for it, and then you went into another reality. Are you going into another reality right away? But in this sense, you're being pulled out. So you could be fighting some kind of addiction issues. And it could be like that. Even psychotropic medications is something you may need to overcome. In looking at this dream, being pulled away from something, it is very hard to hang on once you're being pulled away. Clearly, in the water is doing that to you, going out to sea. Being pulled down, either by yourself, you're your own worst enemy, or there is someone in your life that is a traitor who actually may pretend to be your friend to something, who's actually trying to undermine you, who is seeking to bring you harm. It could be a female person, as it is representative as a girl in this dream. She could be not really interested in you, just kind of hanging on in there and whatever, and there's no real spark left, and it's just kind of a comfort thing or something. I don't know, but her intention is definitely, at least in that dream, if it was a representation of that, is to bring about your drowning, destruction of something. But it could be a representation of your own desire, self-destructive intents, or things that you're doing that are self-destructive. Possibly being in a bad relationship, or just possibly some kind of addiction issue. Now, that's just a generality. This dream went on a lot more, but I cut it down because I wanted to look at particular points in it that kind of stand out at me as a dream interpreter. America, the land I never loved. America, a garish drug addict ghetto, a dedicated misrule to the wandering prelates of heroin and crack. America, a land of antisocial derelict networks, a ruinous psychic destroyer, criminalized by Grey Force agents who are employed to enslave and incarcerate under the guise of we serve and protect. America, a land of wage slaves, and we sold out the brave. America, a joke where no one is laughing, caught in the clutches of a court system, being wrung out, upside down, grabbing their ankles. America, a standardized test land of car parks, a soulless spectacle of chaos and travesty, a hobgoblin of the interbreed, who pride themselves on their stupidity. America, a sociopath to the big box culture consumer slave states of different stage of failure. America, a land I no longer love, nor ever really did, where speech is free to those that can afford it, where the lies you tell in the tabloid paper reality have more lasting impression over the truth, which is unattainable. America, a sea of molten black top, transient even unto itself, a slow decline into beautiful sadness, etched again rolling over ghettos of booming high-fidelity neon plastic sheeple cars. America, a corporate sponsor of corporate indentured servitude, heaped together with Section 8 housing and welfare ravening. America, a psychotic playground in thug life ugly fashion statements, pursuant of scum burbs and scum boulevards littered with foreclosures and scavenging tenements of the unemployed, embracing an iridescent dead ideal which died a long time ago. America, a place that runs over those that stand beside her while waiting for a broken-down bus on a freezing, blistering night, going nowhere. America, a guideless, shattered rudder on a collision course into a frenzied media cult, worshipping neon liquor in reverence to the rat race of rats, scouring over everything that was once pure and clean, devouring themselves in rabid expansion, from here to there and now everywhere globally. America, a place where banks are bailed out instead of citizens in order to ensure the positions of those in government from being ousted and lynched in true upheaval and revolution. America, a place where if the founders were alive today, they would rise against this current government. America, an arid wilderness of the complacent television programmed obese masses eating each other while craving this week's gluttonous entertainment. America, a place where politicians sit fat in false re-elections, where every vote is discounted while the people starve. America, a place that shall soon perish from the earth. America, a sprawling urban deterioration of crosses, empty skulls, and decrepit historic revision. No more amber waves of grain, no more mountains of striped mine majesty. America, a gutted, displaced land of the disposed, a throwaway society tripping on vomit under viaducts of the dispossessed tent cities of Mexican third world countries. America, a land I no longer love, nor never did. Cannot wait to leave you in your rot in your syringe-filled alleys where I once hid. That's a fun poem. I forgot that was in here. This Liber-Luciferi. I forgot that was in here. And then also in looking at it, as I deviate in Pentacle-Hours, I often do, going from subject to subject. I'm also looking at this thing. It also has dreamscapes in it. Now, this is fascinating. I did install some dreams in mine. And maybe I will read one and try to interpret something. Let's see. Two girls, blonde types, on a ski adventure right up on the side of an alpine slope on a trolley. Someone was trying to blatantly abduct them. To the girls' utter laughter, I felt the intent of the abductor was to force them to hunt one another to survive. I too felt this was ludicrous, as to abduct someone who is, and it was clearly unabductable. I woke up. A dream in December 2009. That's weird. Why would I, or how could I ever have such an odd dream like that? So these girls are on some kind of ski slope, and there's some guy under there trying to get them or something? That's crazy. I hope I wasn't the guy. Or maybe it was something that I was trying to get. It was unattainable. Who knows? Reach for the ski slope, I guess. Quite funny. I wouldn't even know how to interpret that dream. I wonder if I just made it up as I went along and just wanted to put it in the book. But it's quite funny. But if I were to interpret it, I mean, me as the dreamer, I would have to say I was trying to get something, reach something that was unattainable if I was to be looked at like the person trying to abduct these girls in this ridiculous thing as they're in this thing, trolley. But, I don't go out and abduct people. I don't care. It's crazy. But I don't even know. The whole aspect, too, I could be in the trolley looking down at some weirdo that's trying to do something with me or something, which is such a trend nowadays, because I swear, like, anywhere I go, there's always some freaks or weirdos, like, trying to talk to me or something. It's just not my thing, It's kind of like, I was mentioning this to somebody over the weekend. I'm like, I couldn't imagine. I'm a male, straight. I really don't care, whatever. I don't care about gay issues. But I'm constantly getting hit on by people. Sometimes women, and it's not ego thing, but a lot of these dudes, and they're just so weird about it. And they are, it's creepy. I couldn't imagine being a woman having to deal with that. It's nice to be with you today, this moon day. Don't know the exact date. I know it's a holiday. It's a very laid-back day here at the studio. Not too much ghost activity. Although over the New Year there was a lot of ghost activity in here. I was around here, and it was kind of interesting. Different things that can happen if you're in meditations. And some other locations that I was. Being in this decrepit mansion and then going to this high-end mansion. It was just weird. I mentioned that earlier, but both places I think are content with some kind of person that won't let go, or some kind of entity that's kind of attached itself to these different environments. There's definitely something in the studio that can be left for margins. Wreaks havoc on things from time to time. Some people don't think that's the case that are around here, but I kind of do, as I'm, intuitive that way. And you can shut it off, but definitely something going on. But it's nice to be with you today, and that will conclude my Pentacle-Hours reading of the Liber-Luciferi. And I think all my books, what was it? It was Satanic Paradigm. That was my first book. Les Treatise des Magica Noir. The Book of Black Magic was number 2. Liber-Luciferi was number 3. Terra Satana was number 4. Ordo Vulpurga was number 5. Ordo Vulpurga is German for Order of the Witch. Number 6, I think, was Luciferian Incantus. I can't. There's something else in there. I don't know. Luciferian Incantus. Then there was Black Magic is Might. And then there was Occultus. So 8 books so far, party people. In a few short years. That isn't bad. And it's all philosophy. And it's satanic black magic. Not too much of that in this state of existence really exists on its own. Contains a lot of rituals, poetry, all the different accoutrements necessary to conduct your black magic ritual. It could be a ritual for one individual, or all of my work in ritual writing, satanic rites that are in each book, can be taken into a solitary practice. And most people, ironically, or maybe not ironically, are solitary. It's hard to get a group together, especially, trying to work towards an end or a solid gain or something. A lot of this it's very hard to conduct. It's kind of like a band, you're in a band and you have just like you're dating 4 people or something. It's just crazy. But, in ritual work, it's very hard to get a group of people going one single direction. That's why, even though I do hope for left-hand path unification, typically these works are, can be garnered to a solitary practice. So you just take what you need and kind of put it in and add it to different things and try to get some results. But it's just different. To each his own. Covens do exist. There are groups that get along. There are all types of things. But it's something that I attain to. A lot of people, generally are solitary. But just know that you're not limited to looking at my writings and work as like, I need 10 people to get this thing off. No, just take a derivative of it. Even in the Lovecraftian stuff, take a derivative of it, utilize it for different things, and bring about your own black magic manifestation. And I am Winter Lake at winterlake.com, and I'm going to conclude the Pentacle Hours today. And it's been nice to be with you.